The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and guests and are not necessarily those of WSTU. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. Time now for European Kitchens and Bath here on WSTU. Call in with questions and comments. 220-9788. 220-WSTU. Now here's your host, John Campion.
Hey, good evening, Martin County.
Yeah, good evening,
That's
John.
so cool. I'm still trying to get used to this, Frank.
Wrapping your head around it, huh?
Yeah, that's John Campion. I'm your host for the European Kitchens and Bath show, and I'm here with my co-host. He's a great guy, Frank Mezzapel.
Hey, John, it's good to see you in the studio once again.
Thanks. I didn't even call you world famous. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's too late.
Oh,
Can I say that?
Yes. Yes. I'll tell you, Tuesdays, it's Tuesdays are great because it's the day before Wednesday.
Right.
It's funny. My wife and I, every Tuesday night, we are very blessed to be able to pick up the leftover breads and pastries at Panera up in Palm City.
All right.
There's a huge donation pool out there between Publix and many of the grocery stores and Panera. I think Panera gives nationally like $20 million a year they donate. The stuff at the end of the day.
Right.
They're just going to toss it. That's what they have to do.
Right.
So we've been up there about 5 or 6 years, and we get to pick up we go up there when they close, and we get few Santa Claus bags of stuff, and but what's really amazing is I said to Dee Dee today, I said, "Wow, it's Tuesday already," and it just goes.
Yeah.
Mondays are crazy. I told you that Monday at work is crazy.
Right.
It's just a nutty day, and it was one of those yesterday, and today was not as crazy, but still is, and tomorrow's Hump Day, so we're there.
Yeah. What are your store hours?
Our store hours over at European Kitchen and Bath on Monterey are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then Saturday, we're open from 10 to 2, just enough hours to tease everybody.
Yeah.
And I just tell everybody we are closed on Sunday so we can go to church and pray that we come back on Monday.
Okay,
that
seems fair.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So Saturday night church always helps. And I had made a comment last week that, one of the nice things about when we go to Sunday church at 5 o'clock this is at St. Mary's, which is where we take that bread, St. Mary's Episcopal over there on
East Ocean,
right across from Martin North.
Mm-hmm.
And they serve dinner every Wednesday night at Mary's Kitchen.
Yes.
They've been doing it for almost 25, almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And they have some great volunteers who go over there and put the meal together, and they hand out a lot of the stuff that is donated.
Yep.
And anybody can go.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. You want to have a different thing, take your family over there at 5 o'clock, and they even have somebody playing the piano.
How cool is that?
Over at the Pittenger Center,
right,
which is part of the campus. But, the cool part is we have a good time picking up the bread and doing that, and that's our
your service,
on top of a couple other things.
Yeah.
I always say I preach once a month, but I usher and I get to do a reading or prayers for the people or something. Saturday night. Hey, by the way, it's a great church, and I'm trying to get. We've been working on getting Father Christian Anderson,
right?
Dr. Father Todd Cederberg, who is the head honcho over there.
Oh, okay.
Both great individuals.
He's the pastor for that?
Yeah, he's the, I guess we call them rectors.
Okay,
or
all right.
Father.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Or Todd, or Christian, depending on what the crowd is. And,
and the company, right?
They're great guys, great people.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
Well, I had a pleasant conversation with him about a week or so ago.
With Christian?
Yes.
Yeah, he's kind of new to the area.
Yeah.
And
I could hear the energy in his voice. Good energy. Yeah.
If anybody out there listening knows Christian, you know what we're talking about. And if you haven't met him, hopefully you'll run into him sometime. He has a large presence, very tall man, and he's one of the few priests when you go to church they don't need the microphone.
Oh, really? He's just a bellowing
he just
voice.
can do
huh?
it.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. But,
Cool.
Yeah. So hopefully that day will come soon.
Yeah.
And I did reach out to him again. So
Good.
I think he's really busy during the day.
I suspect between now and Easter, I'm sure this has got to be the busy time.
Yeah. Crazy. But, one of the things I wanted to kind of point out today, I didn't think people may or may not realize, everybody for the most part probably realizes that today is the first day of spring.
Yeah.
You
Did
knew
you
that.
feel? Did you feel it?
I felt it. Can you feel it? And Frank, I did a little bit of
A little research.
It's actually today is called the vernal equinox.
Yes.
You knew that.
Yes.
I
yes.
knew
First
it.
day of spring
I
is
can't-
always the vernal equinox.
I never realized that.
Okay.
I just, so today is equal parts day and night,
Right.
except Anchorage gets 12 hours and 15 minutes, and Key West gets 12 hours and 7 minutes.
Wow.
So I guess it's the angle that the sun comes in. or
That's right.
something,
Of course, the Earth is tilted at
Yeah.
a 23-degree angle, so
But
that changes. Yeah.
With the front moving through, it almost feels like the equator pull or something's happening because, man, that wind is blowing out
It's
there.
ripping, I know.
And,
well, they predicted that. They predicted rain. We didn't get the rain, so I'm okay with that.
It looks like it out there. So if it does, it'll blow through. And, of course, over at work, I have a TV that's outside my door when I need to watch basketball or golf.
So important stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
or Property Brothers. But I flipped on the weather because I wanted to see.
Curious,
that
yeah.
New York City and Boston are going to get 8 to 10 inches.
Good God.
Is that so? Okay, so the folks will be staying down here a little bit longer,
Yeah,
which is
so
fine with us.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah, I love it when they come and stay, and I especially like it, because Easter doesn't always fall on the same day every year.
April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
That's what I think is really amazing. So we have, today this is the 79th day of the year, and there's 286 left if you can't do that math that quick like me. I have to see it written on the calendar on my desk.
Yeah.
But that's the fun part. And, of course, everybody, you've got just, a little less than 2 more weeks of Lent.
Yep.
Till you can start drinking and eating candy and
all that good
that stuff.
Yeah.
And,
What did you give up for Lent?
Lent kind of took care of me. It told me what I had to give
okay.
up. So
So you started Lent early.
I started Lent
okay,
early.
okay,
Yeah,
all
right.
right.
Now, what did you do?
I'm like you. I've given up so many things. It's like, what's left?
Yeah. I gave up good health.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well, we're working on that.
We're
though.
working on it.
Yes.
That's right. No,
Yes.
things are good. I'm very blessed. Every morning I wake up, I'm just so happy. I'm seeing another sunrise and rolling along.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I like to tell folks that every day my feet hit the floor, it's going to be a good day.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you're an early riser, aren't you?
I try to get up around 6.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I miss, sometimes I beat my coffee maker, but when the coffee
that's right.
maker goes off at 6,
That's
man, I
right.
know I'm up. So
There's something in your cup.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, about 3 days a week, I have a networking function or something somewhere, a breakfast, and so that's my Mondays and Fridays are my mornings off till I get up about 7 or 7:30, and
Yeah, it's a good time.
I think so. And
Yeah, that's when the
everything-
sun is breaking now. Now that the time has changed.
That's right. The
Yeah.
sun wakes you up, comes through. I face my bedroom faces the east. So
Right.
there you go.
That's the best place to have your bedroom is so you get that morning sun.
Yep. It's
Yeah,
great.
well done.
And we're very fortunate. The back of our house, if anybody's out there looking at a home, make sure the back of your home faces the east, because that way you don't get the evening sun baking the heck out of you if
Yeah.
you've got a lanai or something out there. And we just kind of came across that by luckiness.
Well, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so.
All right. Well, good. Yeah, because
And-
it's just like a 10-degree difference between the warm side and the cool side of a house.
Oh, yeah. No, it's great. And then probably should wait till next week, but we're right within our absolute actual 15 years of having moved here next week. So very cool.
Coming up on that anniversary.
15 years. It's just
Huh?
flown
And you never
by.
look back.
Oh, a couple times. I think the first few weeks I would go into the store and everybody would always be about 20 minutes late. You know, I was
Yeah.
always used to getting to work early, and I was walking around going, you know, I bought the business for my mom and dad, but early on I'd get in there and it'd be
Where is everybody?
yeah, it'd be 20 after 9, and
Yeah.
you know they
They
weren't
kinda
there,
amble on
and I
in.
said, "What the heck have I done?"
Yeah, right. They had sand in their shoes. That's the
Oh, yeah.
expression, right?
Very much. We didn't have
Yeah.
we don't have a time clock, so it's Florida time. If you
Right.
get there within the hour, you're early.
You're on time.
Yeah, on time or early.
Yeah. I love it.
You know, one thing I wanted to touch on, and I do want our listeners to know that starting next week, I will probably start having my some guests
Okay,
on here,
All right.
and
Good.
I won't reveal who they are.
Okay.
It's kind of the you know, spin the wheel like on
Okay.
Wheel of Fortune,
Cool.
and hopefully there's no bankrupts. But we've already had that, and anybody who's been listening, we hope you're enjoying it. Frank and I got our connection on here when I volunteered to be a co-host on our MCBE Wednesday night show.
Yeah.
when
Also airs
yeah.
at 5 o'clock.
So that's with Lee Carroll, who is a tough guy to match step by step. But we have our two different styles, and I'm really glad I got to do it. And
Yeah.
I'm still out there as the on deck guy when they need me. And,
Absolutely.
And Frank's made it very easy.
Wow.
So he is a professional. That's my radio voice.
I love it. I love it when I talk to Ken when I call your office because
yeah, Ken.
he's a you know, he's more than just an employee. I can tell that he's like a member of your family, and so as soon as he finds out it's me on the phone, he switches from just Ken to Ken the radio guy.
Yeah, right, right.
So it's a lot of fun.
He you know, apparently he used to do some you know, play acting stuff when he was younger. So
yeah.
he's our master thespian, and he's always in a great positive mood.
Yes.
When he gets quiet, he's a little stressed, and we try to break him out of that. But anybody who drinks 12 cups of coffee a day, you know, that's his niche.
Yeah.
Plus, he's brilliant with the plumbing and everything else. So we're thank you for your good comments, nice
Yeah.
comments on that. That's really great. And Ken, you'll love that, won't you? If anybody has a Sunday paper left, you probably recycled it already, but I finally read the funnies today, and Dennis
Okay.
the Menace was thinking about out loud with his mom and dad at breakfast,
Right.
thinking about when was he going to be able to drive.
Oh, okay.
And so
There's a scary thought.
So yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's exactly what his mother said. She goes, you know, Dennis, it worries me with you driving a car.
Yeah.
And then I think his dad or his mom, then they said, well, you know, Dennis, you have to take a test to be able to get your driver's license. And he's like, ah. So finally he goes, well, I'll tell you what, I don't really care to drive a car. They go, well, why is that? He says, because I'm going to get a motorcycle.
That'll solve that problem.
So I gave that to Ken this morning, slipped it on his. Has been going into the motorcycle kick with his, midlife crisis. And so, anyways, I put it on there, and he did a little bit of photoshopping, and it shows. It's called Kenneth the Menace, and it shows him on his motorcycle instead of sitting in a car. So good job, Ken. Very creative. I'm glad you were working hard today. Right.
Yeah.
But he did.
He found the Photoshop
Yeah.
button on his computer.
We needed a few laughs today.
Yeah.
And, it's the crew is doing a great job over there, and we appreciate the support from the community and all the new customers. It's just amazing, and that was one of the things. We've really just talked about things going on around us, and I actually kind of wanted to hit on some stuff with the kitchen business that we provide over there, the products we sell, and what's trending.
Yeah, okay, that's
Can
always
we
interesting.
do that?
Customers love to know what's trending. I mean, they would in the olden days when I had a wallpaper store, right? People would come in and they always would browse through the wallpaper books because they wanted. And the first question is, "What's new? What's the latest?" And I think that applies to anything in the interior furnishings, right?
And would this be, you think about that when that started, of course, now with the internet and everybody's always,
Right.
I was online.
I'm going back to the 80s. But
Well,
yeah,
right. Well, you barely got your cell phone till the end of the 80s, so, well, if you were lucky. But I just thought I'd, hit on this. We've,
Sure.
got about, 10, 12 minutes left.
Right.
if y'all don't mind, if you don't want me to do this, please call in at 220-9788 and let me know you want me to talk about something else.
Yeah,
kind of
if
stupid.
Dee Dee calls, what do I say?
Yeah, I had made some notes here, by the way, to talk about March Madness, and just wanted to say what madness that was. Just real. I don't know if you watch that stuff.
I haven't, tall people sports. It just never captured my.
Well, Frank, one of the most exciting things in the March Madness run was the big upset of University of Maryland at Baltimore County, UMBC.
UMBC.
They were a 16th seed. You have these seeds in 4 different regions and 4 number ones, and they were kind of like they
were an outlier.
They were an outlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Virginia was number 1 in the country, and the tough part there is my wife was a UVA grad, and we were gonna stay up and watch that game. It was on late. Well, UMBC beat the Virginia Cavaliers by 20 points.
Good God.
And for a while it was 10 or 12, and then they poured it on and just, it was
brought their A game.
Yeah, my wife kept going, what are they doing? But they had a little guy on there. He was about 5'6". He was like a little bumblebee.
Oh, my size.
And I want to tell you, man, he was one of the spark plugs. He's from San Juan. And that was just one of the things. Two number 1 seeds are gone. Xavier, Bill Bushman and Mike Burkle, they're gone. Those are good friends of mine.
Okay.
And, of course, UVA. And the rest of it is just really crazy. That's everybody's bracket breakers, and you hear about it. So what is fun, if you're flipping around sometime and they always show the scores up in the top, if you see a close game and it's near the end, just go to it because something crazy is going to happen.
Yeah.
So very cool. Very cool. I just wanted to mention that.
All right. Good. Yeah.
So, this is a little throw out to our locals and snowbirds. We've had plenty of people coming in saying, I'm leaving to go back up, but I need to do this. And I just want to talk about what's going on in the kitchen. Again, this is John Campion with the European Kitchens and Bath Show. And I have been the owner of European Kitchen and Bath over in Monterey. I also have a store in Vero. We're in our 25th year here, which is really hard to believe.
Isn't it?
14 years up in Vero, and you saw it all start with my mom and dad, Frank. You met them a long time ago. But my wife, Dee Dee, and I bought the business 15 years ago, basically. And, I am always a believer, and I've talked about it on the air before, about always having to reinvent yourself. So we remodeled the store back in September and kind of changed things around. We had a couple customers in today. We moved our bath department. We have a 3,000 square foot showroom in Stuart. And when you look at the building, it's hard to believe that what's in that place.
It just keeps going and going.
Yeah, so when you go in there, the showroom's kind of fun, I think.
Yeah.
And, of course, we have some significant inventory, but at the same time, we order whatever you need. And we sell pretty nice name brand stuff, stuff you don't normally hear of. Franke, which is a Swiss sink line, one of the fine luxury brands. Blanco is a German sink and faucet line. We have Hansgrohe, or as we say in the States, Hansgrohe.
Right.
And kitchen and bath, mainly shower systems, but some great faucets made in Germany or in Alpharetta, Georgia. Excuse me.
That's good to see that they're making an investment here. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, very good. And a couple other Toto toilets. You go by my marquee, and if you're heading west towards Palm City, usually have something goofy up there about Toto because they make some really great products, particularly in the commode mode. And they have a little washlet seat that goes on there to replace a bidet, which is huge in Europe. I have a young lady, Maddie, who works for me, and her family was just in Japan for 10 days. And I said, Maddie, how did it go? I said, were there Toto washlets? She goes, everywhere. Everywhere. She goes, there's no flush handles. It's all push button. So she got a nice taste of that, which is, if you're not familiar with it, stop in and check us out. But we also have a few other companies. Brizo, Eukinox is a Turkish sink line. But regardless, I'm going to talk about kitchen real quick to let you know what's going on. The big trend we see out there are apron front sinks.
Now, what does that mean?
And so apron can mean, with many people, it's farmhouse.
Okay.
You know, you see the old setups. You'll see it a lot on your shows out there on the DIY or whatever. And even you'll see them in a lot of the shows on TV, period.
The cooking shows?
Yeah, you'll see, or even on, what was I watching the other night? They had a fire clay apron front sink. Those are the ones that are made out of the very special porcelain. It's not really porcelain. And they make those four different types of materials. You have them, the fire clay, you have stainless, you have composite, and you have copper. Single bowls are trending huge, whether it's that or your undermount sinks. Single bowls, people love the single bowls instead of double bowls. Things are...
They like the deep...
Yes, undermount.
Well,
you got to make sure when you get a replacement sink that you don't get it where the plumbing goes upward. So people come in and want the deepest sink they can get, and you can't. You got to be careful. The plumbers will say, "I'm sorry, ma'am, you can't drain your water uphill." Pull down faucets in lieu of maybe a pull out. The days of having the side spray and the faucet separate. It's all one. Yeah. And, of course, you have a lot of accessories to complement the sinks. The sinks are workstations these days with accessories like cutting boards and grids and colanders and this and that. You have air buttons to turn your disposer on. You have soap dispensers. Many of these products, huge. Filtered water. People are very conscious about the water they're drinking these days.
Right.
We have some very inexpensive filter systems that will take out the stuff you don't want. You don't have to spend a fortune. And, the big thing I want you to remember when I'm talking to you about these products is that if you come into our store, we educate you. We're hoping that we educate you enough where you don't, showroom us and maybe go buy it on the internet. For that matter, it may or may not be cheaper. It just depends on what's going on. But we're in there to
personalized service.
Absolutely, and people like to touch and feel, and we're in there, and we don't. We try to be. We're going to be helpful. We're not going to be defensive. Mm-hmm. So keeping that in mind. The colors of the sinks. The days of really nasty colored sinks that scratch and do this. We have scratch-resistant sinks, non-porous, non-fading, 8 different colors to choose from. 8 different colors to choose from, Frank.
Well, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, that's right. Chrome faucets, brushed nickel faucets, stainless steel faucets, rub bronze faucets. Those are still around.
What are people looking for? I mean, what are they?
They're looking for
what's trending.
Well, they're looking for value. We have the touch faucets. Yeah. The touch faucets, people, they don't want to be touching the chicken in the faucet.
Right.
So, like I say, it's the single bowls, it's the apron fronts, it's the undermounts, it's the colors, it's convenience. A lot of people want to get what they got up north down here, or vice versa.
Right.
So, this is the kitchens, and there's, showers or bathrooms can be a little more complex, and we'll talk about that for a couple times. But, these are the cool things, and we would really love to have you stop in. Go to our website, EuropeanSink.com, and you can just check out some of the things we're talking about in there. It's kind of a fun website to look at. We're going through some changes right now on that, constantly updating it. A lot of links in there to different things. So, we just try to keep it very informational, and
people can't order off your website.
No, they can't, Frank.
I like
it's
that.
Tough,
yeah, because you really need to visit with them and make sure you're getting them the right product.
People have the sites that they like to go to out there to go look things up and buy, and we can compete against a lot of products on the webs on the internet. We can. And it's not like it was before, and people are actually doing a little pullback on relying on the internet, but it's out there. It's out there. So, we didn't get to talk about this day in history, but
I know. I pulled a bunch of stuff up, but that's all right.
It was a busy day, a lot going on. On March 20th, I saw some very cool things. But we hope you enjoyed listening to the show today. Next week, I would like to tell you who my guest is, but that'll be a surprise for everyone.
All right.
We got a little bit of time left here. How
We've
we doing?
Got a minute and a half.
A minute and a half.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to ask, Frank? You've got so much that goes on all day with your great guests and different shows.
What color is people looking for?
Well, back in the day,
Yes.
Everything used to be white or almond,
Right.
or white or biscuit.
Yes.
And now it almost sounds like a potpourri of food you can eat. Espresso, cafe mocha, mocha.
Yeah.
We have a cinder, which might get you a little bit. We have there's black, onyx, biscotti, truffle.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it's a lot of cool stuff. And,
Yeah. All that stuff sounds good enough to eat.
It does. After a while, people are looking at me going, "Where's the biscotti?" I said, "Well, we'll get the coffee going, and we'll see what we can do with that." So listen, hey, thanks for tuning in today. It goes fast. It's a lot of fun. John Campion, your host, with my co-host, Frank Mezzapel. We hope to see you here next Tuesday at 5:30 for the European Kitchens and Baths Show. And you all have a great week, and come by and see us. Give us a call, 772-221-3990.
Excellent.
And EuropeanSync.com is our website. So thanks again, Frank, for everything.
Hey, thank you, John. We'll see you next week.
All right, buddy boy.
Right here.
See you now.